let's get into it now. The DCL Women's Cup, 4 races for you. 4 laps in each one. 6 competitors, both tracks. Sunset session, over 6 laps, over 4 laps, I'm sorry. Should be able to do that by now, numbers. And Evan Stotel straight to the front, followed by Labeba for SDT Eurosport. That's Leslie Camarena. Leo on fire in third for X-Blades Racing. And Evan Stotel disappears off towards sunset, but they're not letting her get away too far. Good start for Ksenia Messina from Drone Sports in 4th place. She hasn't managed to pick up any top 4 places so far yet this season, but she's in the top 4 for now. Ryan Lindsay Lessard on her first race in the DCL, 10 seconds behind the leader and slipping a bit further behind. And then Yuan Jiqing just crashes there on the slide through the middle of the castle, and so has slipped a little bit further back from everyone else. Ksenia hits the top of part of the Laax turn. That's going to send her back quite a long way. And Evan de Sotow now with a 5-second lead over this lady, Leslie Camarena, in second. Such a fun competitor. Always remember when she made her debut on What the Quad and how much fun she was to chat with. But she's got to do a bit more racing now. And those 5 seconds just changing a little bit as Evan de Sotow gave up a bit of ground, but has managed to pull it away again. The slide, a little bit slow for Leslie there into tunnel number 3 and out. This could be a good showing from her. This is a good set of points if she comes in second behind Evan de Sotow. Smooth curve there, that's nicely done. Behind her, Luisa Rizzo is still in third, but is starting to close the gap on Camarena. As if there's any mistakes here by Leslie, as I think she's onto the 3rd lap, and you can see it right now. X-Blades are trying to get her, and there you go. Just one of those incidents where somebody just pops up in the corner of your vision, maybe just makes you flinch or react to it in some way, and Luisa Rizzo's hit the cube afterwards. Leslie, I thought, might have come back at her, but Leslie's had a long gap in going back to recover from the crash she'd made earlier. Evan de Sotow still flying, seemingly pretty clean out in front. Luisa Rizzo's just making it out of there now and is 6 seconds behind the leader. Leslie some seconds behind her, and then 4th and 5th can still switch. Ksenia Messina could still lose that current 4th place for Drone Sports to Ryan Lindsay Lessard of Quad Force 1. But the gaps are starting to stretch a little bit. Yuan Jiqing in her debut in the DCL is having a rough time of it. Luisa Rizzo has lapped her. So is Evan de Sotow, I think. We're watching Evan now as she comes into the second part of the castle. The tunnel slide there, through the 3rd and underneath for the 4th. Luisa Rizzo has closed the gap by half. It's now 3 seconds between the 2 of them. If Evan clips anything here, X-Blades have got a real chance of getting a win out of this thing. But Evan is flying still cleanly and all the way to the finish. Another win for her, and Luisa Rizzo comes in 2.6 behind. Second race between these competitors. Let's go. But Evan de Sotow is looking somewhat invincible. Evan de Sotow with Leslie Camarena for company. Luisa not too far behind either of them as well. And then Ryan Lindsay Lessard. And the gap opens up slightly more, but Evan and Luisa still very, very tightly racing at the front of this thing. We're on board with Ryan Lindsay Lessard's Mako Reactor for Quad Force 1, who's got caught in the middle of that Laax tunnel, and that's really difficult because you've got to find your way in. And the kind of default reaction is to think, oh, I'll just do the whole thing again, but obviously you want to save as much time as possible. That sent her down into 5th and quite a long way behind. Evan de Sotow's view there on the second lap, as she comes through the cube with Luisa Rizzo, 1.1 seconds behind her. Over the top, going through the slide. Luisa needs to make this nice and sharp. That's what caught her out earlier on. Same with Leslie, but she's made it through the slide with no issues. Ksenia's view from 4th place through the slide. That's fine there as well, but a bit slow on the exit of it. The slide was okay. The turn afterwards, slightly hesitant, which has let Leslie and everybody get slightly further ahead away from her again. She's now 18 seconds behind Evan in the lead. Leslie 9 seconds behind Luisa. Was a few tenths, made it a second. Now it's sort of 2. Evan de Sotow is just flying pretty flawlessly, I think. Ksenia through onto her 3rd lap. Maybe we can have a look at Luisa's view and see how she's trying to move up on Evan de Sotow, because she's starting to. The times are starting to get a little bit closer together. There's Evan's view out in the front. You can see how fast she's flying through that Laax gate absolutely fearlessly onto Breitling and away through DCL. Luisa Rizzo was starting to gain on the back of her though. They are getting slightly closer together, but Luisa must be flying fantastically well, because you see how aggressive Evan de Sotow is flying, and yet at the same time it's smooth curves all the way. Here's Luisa's view. This is Leo on fire in 2nd place, trying to catch Evan de Sotow. 1.3 seconds between the 2 of them. It could be done, but there's pressure on both of these pilots now. You can't make any mistakes if you want to try and get these maximum points out of this race for your team. Better from Louisa, but pretty flawless from Evan. Through Torvald, and Evan gets another win. And Louisa should be very pleased with the performance in that, because that was excellently fast fighting.
Absolutely. One thing we are going to see for sure is an even broader playing field. So the pilots that were making some mistakes in the previous track, they will probably make even more on this more technical track. So curious to see how it's going down.
Yeah, that's ominous, but you're absolutely right. So let's have a look at the start of this one and find our way through. It's a big vertical start out of the blocks, the most kind of vertical climb we've ever had on a DCL race. Climbs are a bit easier, interestingly, than dives out of starting blocks or staying low out of starting blocks. So far, that climb up of the Galaxy building hasn't been an issue for anyone. Evan de Sotel with Louisa and Leslie behind her again, and then Ryan Wanjiching was in 5th, just slipped down into 6th, and Ksenia Mazina down there as well. And Leslie Camarena is on her 2nd lap with Louisa in sight, and Evan de Sotel a little bit further away. We'll come down onto this route along for swinging out a little bit left, and she may have seen Evan de Sotel is already underneath her. Sotel, Rizzo, Camarena, still 1, 2, 3. Camarena 7 seconds behind de Sotel. Rizzo, though, who we're on board with here through the slalom and coming up onto lap number 3, 2-ish seconds behind Evan de Sotel, and that's going to be more as she's hit part of the corkscrew on the way down. That gives Leslie a chance to move up and maybe try and get a 2nd place for her. She's now got Rizzo a lot closer in her view, and that'll not last long. That's my fault, is it? Am I going to take commentator's curse for the first time today? Blame it on me. Oh, Evan de Sotel! Not invincible after all, as that entry to the blind 2nd part of the kicker has cost her a load of time, and Rizzo's now only 3/10 behind her for X-Blades. Into the corkscrew. This is your chance now, Leo on fire. Evan de Sotel, very professional, probably not going to let that beat her. Ksenia Messina's about to get a shot because I think she's going to get lapped. So you've got to keep all these kind of blurs of colour out of your view, out of your concerns. Don't even worry about it. It does sometimes put pilots off when you see other drones hovering around. Louisa Rizzo, 2/10 of a second behind Evan de Sotel. It's so close at the finish, but Evan scrapes another win. But that one's going to be a scrape because that was nearly Leo on fires. Who's going to grab the last of them? Can Evan de Sotel be beaten today? Three 2nd places for Louisa Rizzo as well, of course, so great opportunities for these pilots now. And Louisa Rizzo, though, 5 seconds behind Evan de Sotel. It's Leslie Camarena's fight that we're going to watch here. Up and then inverted, nicely exiting a little bit close to the wall and maybe a little bit higher than she could do to try and save some time, but it's good. Out through the slalom and starting lap number 2 up over the Galaxy building and then around the corkscrew with Lebeba. Very kind of wide turns, could definitely save some time here, but that's a nice one on the 2nd one up, actually. Evan de Sotel 4 seconds ahead as she's pulling those a lot tighter. Louisa Rizzo starting to move up, as you can see here as we go on board with her. She's got Leslie Camarena of STT Euroflight in her sights. And closer still as the turns are much tighter from Louisa Rizzo. Whatever it was that happened here at the beginning, she's managed to get past that now, but Evan de Sotel has got a long way ahead of this pair, so let's stay with these two. You can see Louisa Rizzo's turns are just a lot tighter in this corkscrew. That's where she's starting to pull away. Leslie Camarena can tighten those up a little bit and try and save a few sort of tenths of seconds here and there. Louisa Rizzo, 6 seconds behind Evan de Sotel. Leslie Camarena down on the snow. Person behind her is Ksenia Messina for Drone Sports, who's considerably far behind. So that's going to mean that Leslie can recover that and not worry about losing 3rd place. But her chance of 2nd has slipped dramatically away. Although Leslie, no, still doing fine there. Louisa hasn't even got sight of Evan de Sotel anymore as she makes her way down the chairlift. You might see her on the turn at the end as Evan de Sotel would have gone underneath. She's already into the kicker before Louisa is even into the half pipe. It's good attacking both of them. Evan Sotel not having any issues with the exit of that and is home. And an absolute clean sweep for Evan de Sotel and Raiden. 4 wins out of 4 again, as she did at the start of the season. Maximum points for Raiden. Evan de Sotel, congratulations for silent antagonist of Raiden Racing. 16 points out of a possible 16. Completely amazing amount of points.